Welcome back, Gameyaaad family. Thank you so much for joining us for another video. We are truly delighted and appreciative of your continued support. We really want to get to 500 subscribers and we just crave your continued support. Please hit that subscribe button, turn on that post notification bell so that you can be notified whenever content would have been uploaded to the channel. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up. A thumbs up really encourages me to provide more content to you. Now, the third round of the West Indies Championship, the 2025 edition of the West Indies 4-day regional championship would have been completed. And currently, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force is leading the table. And before I get into it, the purpose of this video basically, after each round we try to collate some statistics to share with you in terms of the team that is leading the table, the players that are doing well, that are performing consistently. I try to collate those information so that you can make sense of what is going on in the competition. So without further ado, let us jump right into our statistics. Now, in terms of the point standing after the third round, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force is currently leading the table, right? And they are currently on 55.4 points after 3 matches. The Leeward Islands Hurricanes, they are currently in second with 50.8 points. Barbados Pride currently in the third position with 50 points. Guyana Harpy Eagles in the number 4th position with 45.2 points, and Jamaica Scorpion rounding off the top 5 with 33.2 points, right? And I must say, Trinidad and Tobago really, they are really playing the best cricket in my estimation, and I think they are rightly in front. They would have scored some massive score so far in the competition. In fact, in the third round is the first time they are batting twice in the innings so far in the competition. They normally post some really big totals and they bat only one time for the matches, right? So they would have scored like 529 for 5 declare, 504 for 6 declare, and they would have scored 456 all out. So those are some really big totals, and I think that they are stamping their authority on this competition so far. We still have 4 rounds to go, so let's see if they will be consistent throughout the championship. But they have been playing some really good cricket, and their players are really stepping up to the plate. Players like Jason Mohammed, Joshua Da Silva, Khary Pierre, Yannick Carrier. These players are just scoring runs and taking wickets, so yeah, Trinidad, they are really playing some really good cricket, and I think they deserve the top spot. As it relates to the highest team total, Barbados Pride is sitting at the top with 581 for 9 declare, and they would have scored that against the West Indies Academy, right? In terms of second place would be Trinidad and Tobago, and Trinidad and Tobago currently occupy the second, the third, and the fourth spot, right? And I would have mentioned those scores a short while ago. And rounding off the top 5 would be the Leeward Islands Hurricane with 433 runs, and they would have scored that in the third round against the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force in their second innings. Right, as it relates to most runs, this is in aggregate since the competition would have, started. And Jason Mohammed from Trinidad and Tobago Red Force currently accumulate 483 runs in the competition so far. And his highest score would have been that 204 not out. And his current average is 241.5. Sitting at number 2 is Jonathan Drakes from Barbados. He would have scored a century in the last round. He's currently at 373. His highest score would be 117 at an average of 93.25. Right? As it relates to number 3, that would be John Campbell, currently on 299 runs with his highest score of 126 and at an average of 59.80. At number 4 would be Kraigg Brathwaite with 290 runs. His highest score in the competition so far is 212 at an average of 145. Rounding off the top 5 would be Cephas Cooper from Trinidad and Tobago. He's another player that has been doing well in the competition. He would have amassed 263 and his highest score would be 117 at an average of 65.75. Jason Mohammed, he's just doing really well. He has scored centuries in all 3 rounds of the competition already, including a double century. And he's just playing really well. He's just in a really good purple patch right now, and he's making use of that form that he is in. As it relates to the highest individual score, Brathwaite is still holding that position with his 212, right, that he made against the West Indies Academy. Right, Jason Mohammed is sitting at number 2 with 204 not out against the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. And Jason Mohammed also occupied the 3rd spot with his 176 that he would have scored against the combined campuses and colleges team. Right, sitting at number 4 would be Joshua Da Silva, that 152 that he scored against the Leeward Islands Hurricane in that first innings. Right, and rounding off the top 5 would be Tevin Imlach with his 126 not out against the combined campuses and colleges team. Right, so those are the players that would have scored big totals so far. In terms of the highest average, Jason Mohammed is sitting at the top, and that is no surprise. I think he has been the most consistent batter in the tournament so far. Right, his average, as I would have said before, is 241.5. Kraigg Brathwaite sitting at 145 average. Joshua Da Silva average is 126. Tevin Imlach 108.5. And rounding off the top 5 would be Jonathan Drakes with 93.25. As it relates to the most unused scorer in the competition so far, Jason Mohammed is sitting at the top. Right, as I said, he's the most consistent player in the competition so far in terms of batting, and he has scored 300 in the competition so far. Joshua Da Silva is back-to-back 100 in the last round. He would have scored 2 centuries. Jonathan Drakes would have scored 2 centuries as well. Jid Gooley 1 century, and rounding off the top 5 would be Kraigg Brathwaite with 1 century, that double century. Right, and Jid Gooley would have scored 121, and also Jonathan Drakes, as I said before, would have scored 117. As it relates to 50 plus score, And when I say 50 plus score, it is score that persons would have scored between 50 and 100, meaning that you would have gone 50 and over without getting to 100, right? So we are looking at from 50 to 99 runs, right? And Khary Pierre would have scored 350 so far. His highest would be 76, right? And sitting in second position would be Jonathan Drakes with 250, right? Cephas Cooper would have scored 250 so far, right? John Campbell would have scored 250 so far, and rounding off the top 5 would be Amir Django with 250 plus score so far. His highest would have been 84 runs, right? As it relates to the highest partnership in terms of runs, sitting on top of the table would be Jason Mohammed and Joshua Da Silva, right? They would have scored 259 runs. That's a 4th wicket partnership between the Leeward Islands Hurricanes, right? That would have been in the 3rd round of matches. And sitting in the second position would have been Kraigg Brathwaite and Jonathan Drakes, 228 runs for the 2nd wicket stand for the Barbados Pride against the West Indies Academy. Sitting at the 3rd position would be Jason Mohammed and Jid Boulis, amassing 227 runs for the 3rd wicket stand for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force against the combined campuses and colleges team. Right, sitting at the 4th position would be Mikhail Lowe and Kadeem Henry, 220 runs, 1st wicket stand for the Leeward Islands Hurricanes against the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. And rounding off the top 5 would be Kemal Savory and Kevlan Anderson with 185 runs. That's a 4th wicket stand for the Guyana Harpy Eagles against the Barbados Pride, right? And let us move now to look on the bowlers. And sitting at the top of the chart for most wicket would be Khary Pierre. Khary Pierre has been really superb and magnificent in this competition, right? He has amassed 26 wickets so far in the competition after 3 rounds of matches, right? That's exceptional, and he's way ahead of the others. He's leading the 2nd position by 9 wickets, right? So sitting at number 2 would be Rakeem Cornwall from the Leeward Islands Hurricane, right? And he would have gotten 17 wickets so far. Vera Sami Pramal from the Guyana Harpy Eagles would have taken 16 wickets so far. Joshua Bishop from the West Indies Academy would have taken 14 wickets so far. And rounding off the top 5 would be Yannick Carrier from the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. He would have gotten 13 wickets so far, right? So as I said, Khary Pierre has been really superb in this competition so far. As it relates to best bowling figures, Khary Pierre would have occupied the 1st and the 2nd spot on the table, right, with bowling figures of 11.4 overs, 4 maiden. He would have conceded 27 runs, taken 8 wickets at an economy of 2.31 against the Windward Islands Volcanoes, right? In terms of the 2nd position, it would be Khary Pierre again with 24 overs, 7 maiden. He would have conceded 40 runs, right, with taken 7 wickets at an economy of 1.66, and this was done against the combined campuses and colleges team. Sitting at the 3rd position would be Tamari Redwood, 15.1 over, 1 maiden, 72 run conceded, 7 wickets at an economy of 4.74. against the Windward Islands Volcanoes. At fourth position would be Joshua Bishop, 32 overs, 9 maiden, 85 runs conceded, 7 wickets at an economy of 2.65. And that was against the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. Right? And rounding off the top 5 would be Chain Holder, 16 overs, 3 maiden, 70 runs conceded, 6 wickets at an economy of 4.37. And that was against the West Indies Academy. Right? As it relates to best bowling figures in a match, so I would have mentioned best bowling figures in an innings earlier. Now we will look on best bowling figures in a match. Right? Khary Pierre is sitting at the top of the chart again with 19.5 overs, 6 maiden, 44 runs conceded, 12 wickets at an economy of 2.21, and this was against the Windward Islands Volcanoes. Joshua Bishop sitting at the second position with 53 overs, 11 maiden, 174 runs conceded, 10 wickets at an economy of 3.28. Right, Khary Pierre at number 3, 41.3 overs, 9 maiden, 90 runs conceded, 9 wickets at an economy of 2.16, and that was against the combined campuses and colleges team. At number 4 position would be Richie Lucknow, 28.4 overs, 7 maiden, 92 runs conceded, 9 wickets at an economy of 3.2 against the Barbados Pride. And rounding off the top 5 would be Jamel Warrican, 51.2 overs, 13 maiden, 161 runs conceded, 8 wickets at an economy of 3.13 against the West Indies Academy. Alright? As it relates to best economy rate in the competition so far, sitting on top of the table would be Kevlin Anderson from the Guyana Harpy Eagles. His economy would be 0.88. Jit Gooley, 1.38. At the third position, Kraigg Brathwaite with 1.69. Penny Feather, 1.90. Rounding off the top 5 would be Khary Pierre, 1.95. As it relates to most 5-wicket haul in an innings, right? Khary Pierre is sitting on top of the table, and he would have taken 3 5-wicket haul in the competition so far. And rounding off the top 5 would be Richie Lucknow, Tamari Redwood, Hayden Walsh Jr., and Brad Barnes, right? And they would have taken 1 5-wicket haul so far. And so that would be it for the bowlers. As it relates to dismissal is in relation to Wicketkeeper, or just catches in general, but generally it will be Wicketkeepers, right? Lenica Boucher of Barbados would have taken 9 catches and 1 stump. And so he would have, amassed 10 dismissals so far. Carlton Bowen Tuckett, 6 catches, 1 stump. And he would have, involved in 7 dismissals so far. As it relates to Daniel Beckford, he's sitting at the 3rd position with 6 catches, 1 stump, right? And he would have involved in 7 dismissals so far. And Joshua Da Silva and Kevin Imlach, they would have, involved in 6 dismissals so far with 5 catches and 1 stump. Alright, so that would have been, the statistics are the main statistics I would, imagine for the 3rd round. And clearly, the best, performers so far as it relates to batting would be Jason Mohammed. That is very clear. He is the most consistent batter in the competition so far, and the best bowler so far, in my estimation, is Khary Pierre, right? He would have amassed over 20 wickets. In fact, he has gotten 26 wickets in the competition so far in 3 matches. And Jason Mohammed would have scored 3 centuries in the competition so far from the 3 rounds. Right, so those are my 2, standout players so far in the competition. And as I said before, I'm not going to get carried away with 1 or 2 great performance. I really want to see some consistency over the 7 rounds of matches. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you in the next video. Peace and blessing, and have a great day. Have a great week, everyone. God bless.
Belo, 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 belo.